Just don't mind, don't mind. Hello, welcome back to SPURS Football Corner. Welcome back to another live stream, another show, another video on the channel. Big ups to everybody is tuned in nice and early. Big ups to everybody is watching on a replay. Make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you're subscribing to the channel if you haven't already, people. We are back for another episode of the Koora pod. We are back with another episode analyzing the weekend fixtures that just came up, that we just had to endure, actually, because a lot of them were meaty, to say the least. But we are also here to preview the second leg for Madrid versus Arsenal in the Champions League. We're going to be previewing that. We're also going to be speaking about Partey. Is he fit for Real Madrid? Obviously, he went off, and all this, all the other stuff in the Premier League. But listen, I am joined. This is the OG squad because T's not here, the fraud, but he will be back, guys. He will be back here for the Friday episode, inshallah. But he's not here. It's the OG squad. Man like Ash to my left. Oh, it's to my left, to my right on the camera. Man like Sammy below me, pause. And fraudulence on the bottom right corner. Man like Souls is back. AFTV Souls in the building. Big up to you, lads. What's going on, man? What's going on? What are you lot telling me, man?
We're gonna smash Madrid, bro.
Yeah,
Smash.
chill out.
Guys, I'll be real. If you lot know what happens pre-stream, like backstage before we go live, the World War III that's going on, yeah, it's nuts, bro.
Ash is looking like a cream driver.
Habibi, and you're looking like a molester.
See, this just shows that Ash does not have enough experience in the filming game. He doesn't understand what's going on.
Triggery big
guys. We're gonna take that out because that's gonna, do you know what I mean? The demonetization of the video. I can't even make
that was funny.
a little piece of money. But anyway, listen. We're here, man. We're here. Do you know what I mean? And I think the first thing we need to do before we do anything is Ash needs to bring up the thing so we can just look at the.
Get it out of the way.
result.
Okay.
Yeah, we might as well, bro. We might as well, just so we can.
Bro, I think I did bad. I didn't even check it, to be honest, but I think I did bad this weekend. Let me check.
Do you need me to get up the scores so I can put them so you can put them in?
No, I think I filled. I didn't fill all of them, to be honest. So you might have to get out the scores.
Bournemouth and Fulham hasn't been played yet. Bournemouth and Fulham is going to be played at 8:00, so we won't know what happens.
Yeah.
in that
So I
game.
filled some of them. Oh, I realized. Yeah. So the ones I filled for Saturday they were horrendous. We all got zeros and everything except the Man City thing, where we got 1 point each, bro. It is pathetic, bro. Chelsea Ipswich was 2-2. So I think Saad gets 1 point there.
Way!
Yeah, this is a meaty week. I'm not gonna lie, guys.
Bears.
Such a meaty week. Liverpool, West Ham. Was it 2-1?
Yeah.
Ooh! I get 3 points, baby.
You get 3 points. You scumbag.
There you go. 0 for Saad and 0 for Sammy. That's what I'm talking about.
Shut up, man. Look at this guy. Wallahi, this guy, bro. With his shut up, man.
This is
Wallahi, give it a
4-1.
rest, man.
So I get 1 here, 1 here, and 0 for Sammy. And then the last one was Wolves
Hold that,
Spurs.
Sammy, man. Hold that, Sammy.
4-2, right?
Hold that.
4-2.
Yeah,
So
4-2, man.
So I
What did
get
I put
1,
down?
Sal gets 1. You also put 2-1, and then Sammy gets 0. Yeah, guys, horrendous week for Sammy, bro. 1 point. 1 point. And you better pray Fulham win today, because otherwise you're
Sammy,
sticking on 1.
Sammy,
You're
Sammy,
sticking on 1, bro.
Sammy, I'll be so real. As one of my good friends, rest in piss, brother. Anyway, let's move on, bro. Do you think this Sammy guy was looking out for me when I was dropping stinkers and hooked, bro? In prediction, these man were laughing, bro.
He was waiting for it.
I'm alive, bro. I'm alive, man. Unfortunately, Ash is top for this week, so we're gonna have to not hear the end of it for the rest of the week.
No. Why would I talk about something that's become so like consistent?
No, it's not. It's not.
Boring,
Why are you trying to go? Why are you trying to go to the total points?
Bro.
Just relax, bro. Just relax. Calm down.
No, it's
By the-
okay.
by
I mean,
the- by
Sammy's
the
the
way,
one to be embarrassed, to be
By
honest.
the way, Saad, he's horrific at FPL. He doesn't know anything about the actual.
Habibi, I don't uqsam billah. So you know.
And he's
Okay,
horrific
I was
at
going to say
FPL.
something which I cannot say on live,
Yeah,
to be honest. but,
he-
I don't change my teams often. Wallah, I don't change my teams often. If you go check my stuff,
but
you'll
there's
see
a
many
reason for
times
that,
it's the same team.
But why though?
I changed it this weekend. I'm not going to lie. But previous weekends, go check. It's literally the same team sometimes. I just don't. I keep forgetting to change it, bro. Because every year, I'm competing with someone, and we have our own mini league. This year, I didn't do it with anyone, so I was like, bruh.
So this is how you know that Ash is a bozo and a piece of work, bruv. We all put Aston Villa to win, yeah? And this fraud is giving us zeros for that. Brother, do we need to start checking? Like, do you know what I mean? We need to start checking.
Right.
We need to start
You're right,
checking
you're right,
what
you're
this
right,
guy's
you're right,
doing,
you're right,
bro.
No. Correction. Not everyone put Aston Villa to win. Only 2 of us did. Someone else is still on 0.
Listen, Sammy's just being edgy. This one, he just being edgy, bro. Like,
Sammy,
I gotta give you,
big.
I gotta give you, the time for you to guys shine a little bit. It's getting
Ah,
boring.
sure.
always winning, every
Sammy,
week,
since you,
Yeah.
I think I've still one more if I'm not wrong. Let me see. Actually, when did Sammy join us? Yeah, Sammy joined us here. So Sammy, since he joined us, has got 38 points.
What per 90?
What? Are you done? I'm tied with Sammy since he's joined. Jeez, 38.
See,
each.
I told you I had to give you,
Man,
a
big
chance.
up, man. Big up, man. Anyway, listen, let's that is the roundup. Obviously, we're this has been so inconsistent, guys. It's actually been so
1 second,
inconsistent.
Saad. Can I just pause a little? This guy's gonna keep crying for attention because his team is gonna win the league. Okay, let's just answer this really quick. Souls isn't AFTV Souls. Saad, when was the last time Souls was on AFTV? You fraud.
2 months ago, suck on that.
Souls isn't involved, Lamau. Souls is just sitting there, Lamau.
Okay,
Saad, put the comments up. Are you happy, Ali? We've put up the comments.
I'm gonna address.
You've rattled Souls.
I'm
Khalas,
gonna
you've
address
rattled them.
what I'm going to say now. Ali, you fraud. First of all, I've done over 100 videos. Okay, I've done multiple tournaments. I've done live streams, done studios, done stadium interviews. I'm a seasoned professional when it comes to the streaming game. Please
So
don't
is
ever
it just
come
too
for me.
funny, wallah.
Um,
You know, this guy doesn't know. Just close the door, ya habibi. Everybody's just
Yeah,
walking in.
Baba, or move to the right, move
Wallah.
to your right.
No.
You're right.
يا أخي مال.
Yeah, for you, yeah, habibi.
we are
بيع
definitely.
عائلة يا
we
أخي.
are- listen.
الوالدة تدخل
لا انا ما كنت مشكل كل شيء داخل خارج مش مشكل اللي يبغى يمشي حاجه شيء واحد يجي ما في مشكله.
صافي ليش نوم وما عارفين تلشوفوا فيهم. مش عارفين هم تلشوفوا فيهم.
No, if they report it, it's different, isn't it? That's what I mean.
Yeah,
No.
habibi, guys, continue the conversation. I don't know why we went left. Yeah, anyways, continue.
Yeah, so yeah, look,
I don't know
think-
why Souls, Ali and Lutfan, bro, they have
Lutfan is
something
content.
against Souls,
Lutfan-
bro.
By the way,
Oh
you
my God.
need to answer comments from Lutfan on the last episode.
Yeah, I
He
saw the
was
comments,
on-
bro. There were
he
30
was
comments. I'm not
on
gonna
to
read
you.
all of them.
He was on
Who's
to
on
you,
to?
bro. No, he
Who?
was on to Ash, bro, about some stuff he was saying.
He was on to me
Um,
because I said if Arteta reaches the Champions League final and we lose to Barcelona, I might say give him one more season.
Oh yeah,
No,
by
no,
the way,
say it
no,
like you said it,
no,
Ash.
no,
Say it
no,
like
no,
you said it.
sorry,
Your target is progression.
no, sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
What?
Can I-
No, wait,
sorry.
I'm not ashamed of that. I've always said that.
No, wait. Can
I've
I-
always
no,
said
no,
that.
no, on
I've
that-
never
on
changed
that
my
point,
energy.
No, on that point, yeah, I want to say one thing on
But
that
he
point.
might not reach the final, in which
You know,
case sack him
Sad-
anyways.
You know, Sad and Sammy are the biggest frauds of Arsenal fans I think I've ever. It was hurting my ears watching you have that debate with them, Ash. Yeah, because actually, no, I disagree with Ash a lot, but I actually agree with them there completely. Ash is now showing signs of a logical, unbiased, non-agenda-like opinion where
Yeah,
he's
something
not-
that
he's not-
comforts your ears.
there's no personal.
When you're
agenda.
old as me, then you'll know what I
No.
feel.
I'll tell you what it is. There's no
Mm.
personal agendas. There's no
Let me
personal.
just enjoy the moment. Just wait.
No, it's
Let
okay.
him-
Don't worry about it. Yeah, age is
Let him
a
land.
number.
Let him land.
Let me land. There's no
Mm.
personal agendas. There's no this, that. There
Right.
is simple, logical opinions. For
Mhm.
any logical fan, forget Arsenal. Any logical fan, if their manager reaches a Champions League final and they still think that they should be sacked, you need to go and play tennis or go and watch.
Unless you're Real Madrid's manager.
No, that's
'Cause that's-
fine. What
That's a
I'm
different
saying-
stratosphere. That's a different stratosphere. I agree.
But what I'm saying to you is you cannot reach a Champions League final for only the second time in history and then sack the manager that got you there. That makes no sense at all.
What about the past 4 seasons where he bottled it? What about that?
He progressed every year. Can I ask you a question, Sammy? Do you think no, Sammy? Can I ask you a question? Because I know you rate these little trump cups like the League Cup and the Carabao Cups and that.
I rate any trophy that is.
Yeah, I don't
trophy.
because you
Okay.
can't rate any trophy. Because if you rate any trophy, why have managers been sacked after winning those trophies? The point that I'm saying, the point that I'm saying is this: you cannot logically come out and say, "Oh, what's Arteta done? What's Arteta won the last 4 or 5 years?" It is not a given to win a Prem or a Champions League. It is not a given. There is no staple that says you have to win something. No matter how good you are, if there's a better team in front of you, you're not going to win it. And unfortunately, for the past 3 or 4 years, Man City have been better than us in every single department. We shouldn't have won nothing. They were better than us. So at the end of the day, if a manager took over Arsenal this year and took 4 years from this team to win a trophy, then I understand Sammy's point. But you have to think about, where did Arteta come from when he first joined Arsenal? What team did he take over? What position was our club in? What kind of restructure or rebuild did our club need to get to where we are now? Where we started from with Arteta, everybody knew, even if you spent £1 billion, you were not going to win any major trophy for the next 4 years. Everyone
I'm
knew
not denying that. I'm not denying that. But the thing
what's
is,
the
he has to deliver. I told you, he has to deliver now.
Deliver what?
And you're saying deliver a trophy, deliver a freaking trophy. That's why we want football as a football fan.
He delivered the trophy.
With the Emery's squad, right?
No.
Don't do that, Sami, because you just killed your argument that that means he's only been here for 3 years.
No, it's fine. No.
This is his third season.
That was
So for third season, he's done amazing.
Fifth year.
It's amazing. He
Fifth year, man.
He won. He won.
No, it's not the 5th year. Sami, pick your poison. Either he's won the FA Cup, right? So he's won a trophy, or it's Emery's team, in which case, fair enough, I hear you. That actually makes a lot of sense. In which case, this is only his 3rd season. That's it. And in his 3 seasons, he's challenged for the league twice, and he's reached Champions League final if he makes it. If he makes it in this scenario, because you cannot say that was Emery's team, but then count 5 years. That makes no sense.
Yeah, and also Ash, he beat Man City.
But Emery reached us to the final of the Europa League, and yet we still sacked him.
He didn't win it.
So your logic of
no. When did Emery get sacked? At what point? When did he get sacked? You remember, Sami?
19?
Yeah, like as in which season?
I think 19.
1920, not 18-19. He didn't get sacked after getting slapped in the final of the Europa League. We continued with him. He got sacked the mid of next season when we were 11th in the league, and all the players started turning against him and became toxic. Chaka threw the jersey on the floor. The players were making fun of him and saying good evening in training. It became too toxic. That's when he got sacked.
But also, Ash, regardless of the team, he beat Man City and Chelsea in a semi-final and a final to win the competition. He beat 2 tough opponents in big games, in probably the hardest part of the competitions where you face the best teams. He beat both of them. Coached
props to that.
Won the trophy.
Props to that. And then what?
No. And even with
5 years down the lane,
that's fine. But Sammy, with the trophy, I still didn't rate him, because for me, that's not what I judge a manager on. I judge him based on what he won, a champs or a prem. Okay,
Premier League.
And the point
but he didn't either.
I know.
So what's the argument?
But he was. Listen, not me. Not most Arsenal fans, not most pundits, not even the Arsenal board themselves, Vinay, the CEO, nobody targeted him from when we were 8th and finishing 9th, from where he was. No one predicted him to win a Champs or a Prem in the next 3 years. It was virtually impossible, because we understood what the rebuild was. So what I'm saying to you is, no.
You skunked.
Yes, that's true, bro. I'm telling you. So when you're
so what was hold on a minute.
Wait, what was the last part he said?
What?
I didn't.
He said nobody in the board, nobody in the thing brought him in to win a Premier League or a Champions League.
No, that's not true.
For the next, guys.
Start. Listen to him. He didn't say that. He said not in the next 3 years. Listen to him. Yeah. Then I agree.
When he came in, no one predicted Arsenal from where we was at that point. No one expected him within the next 3 years to win a Prem. What they knew
that I agree with.
What they knew is that from where we are now, Arteta, you have to go through a big restructure, let go of a bunch of players, go through a lot of politics.
So how long is that? How long is that in your realm?
Spend at least 500, 600, 700. Look. I said to you, I put it clearly to you, and I actually said it a million times. Arteta, and Gary Neville said it literally the other week, 2 days ago on NBC Sports. He said, when Arteta came in, he's done every single thing most fans and club owners would have wanted from him in terms of getting a club from the mud, from the dirt of where it was, year by year progressing in points tally, in team, in defense. We were a joke of a club. We were a banter club. That's everyone knew Arsenal at the time as a banter club. We were a joke. We were crap. Okay, we were like Man United now. We're dead, right? And Arteta took us from a team that was in the mud to a team that consistently now challenges for a league, a top elite level team in Europe. Okay, so the question becomes, Arteta's taken us from X to Y. The question becomes, which I hear Saad and Ash's point, can he take us from now getting to the top to actually delivering a big trophy?
Yeah, that's what I'm still reserved on.
And that's the thing where I understand. That's why I haven't said give him a new 3-year contract. He's definitely going to do it. I've said no. I'm a bit concerned. But you know what? Give him one more year to go and make the offensive errors in the transfer market that he's made in the last competition. If he doesn't go and deliver us something next season, he can be sacked. And that was before Real Madrid. That was regardless of Real Madrid. But then now, to hear that he's potentially going to get to a Champions League final after potentially beating Real Madrid and PSG, probably the two of the three best teams in Europe, and getting us to a Champs final without our main centre back, with 3 or 4 attackers injured, with a bunch of injuries, and then saying, "Oh, you know what? I still think he should be sacked." Why? Because he won us in the last 4 years, bro. You can't look at football like that. It's a stupid opinion. All you look like is a brain dead football fan. I'm just being honest with you guys.
Okay, that's perfectly fine. Listen, I'll be real. If he doesn't win a trophy this season, which the likelihood of it happening
is low,
very high.
Very low.
No, very high for him. Oh yeah, it's very low.
Yeah, I meant very low of him not winning.
Of him
winning something. Yeah.
For me, I keep on the same stance. I don't care about the. Because
here's
the thing. For
that
me,
makes you deluded, though, bro.
No. So let him land. Let him land.
But for me, I I want to stay consistent with my argument. My argument is
It has been your argument since last year, to be fair.
I've given context to this manager for ages. I've said, you know what, the progression thing. Me and Ash were screaming this. At one point, me and Ash were the only ones last season that were screaming progression. Because
the guy was clipped with "I believe in my gaffer."
But
what you talking about?
Yes, but I can't now go for after this season, say another season, what, just because he got me to a Champions League final. That's great. But if you don't win it, then this is exactly my point. Why can't you get us over the line? I've seen teams be able to get over the line and win a trophy that weren't even meant to be winning that trophy.
And also,
Chelsea. I've seen Chelsea. Hold on. I've seen Chelsea beat Manchester City, who were a team in their prime. If we can't go and beat Barcelona, that Manchester City team was probably better than Barcelona is right now.
We have
just
no
to add
right.
that chair,
It doesn't matter if we have no right. It's about getting over the line. A manager will be able to get you over the line, regardless of.
I just want to add. Wait. So wait.
That's not true. Now you're going a bit too much. That's not true.
I'm gonna add the cherry on the top. If you're saying that we reached the final, we beat Real Madrid, like you said, and PSG, which is two of the most dominant teams in Europe. Right, Souls? You consider them the most dominant teams in Europe.
Two of the three,
okay, whatever. Two of the three. You rate them. No problem. You rate them highly. So whoever we get in the final, either Barca, Inter Milan, Bayern München, why you cannot beat them?
No, because you're missing. Let me answer that. Let me answer that.
No. My argument is clear.
Okay.
It depends on the opponent. So, for example, if it's Inter Milan in the final,
exactly.
If it's Inter Milan in the final, I can look at that and go, based on a logical analysis of both teams and both clubs and form and everything, we should be beating Inter Milan. And if we don't, it's two questions. But there is no harm in saying, and this is where the point stands, of there is no God-given right to win a game if you're facing somebody who's better than you. Barcelona are better than us in every single shape and form possible.
Correct.
Regardless of what you talk about. So, Saad saying, get us across the line. Yes, get us across the line. But at the end of the day, that's just wishful thinking. How do you get us across the line with a team that dominates the ball, has better attackers, has better defense, has better this? At the end of the day, there's no harm in losing to a better team. And this is the point that I was making. When we lost the league to City, City were the better team.
That's the moment when you consider him a great manager.
No, it's not when you consider him a great manager.
Yes.
You know the problem with that. So let me answer this. You know the problem with this, Sami, though, because if what you and Saad are saying. Again, I'm sticking to what I'm saying about progression, which is why I'm saying regardless of who the competition is, if you're progressing us, regardless of who the competition is, I'll say, okay, fair enough. Because for me, it doesn't matter what the competition is. It shouldn't affect you from progressing. But if you guys are saying, yeah, but that's where the manager should show, blah, blah, blah. By that logic, Sir Alex Ferguson is not a great manager. Because when he showed up in the final in 2009 against Pep, and then again 2 years later in 2011, he got slapped up in both finals. And nobody's gonna. And there's no harm because
if you ask a manager who has 13.
No. Let me explain to you why. He didn't lose the finals because he has 13 leagues. He lost. Sami. But the logic doesn't change. He didn't lose those two finals.
You're telling me Ferguson is a fraud. What do you mean?
No, he's not a fraud. I'm debunking your logic, you and Sads, because no one in their right mind thinks Sir Alex Ferguson took it easy in the finals because he's like, well, guess what? I already have 2 Champions Leagues and I already have a bunch of league titles. We lose. It doesn't matter. He played that final as serious as ever. People showed his wrist like going like this and like trembling and shaking. He spoke about it many times after. My point is, nobody can come sit here and say Sir Alex Ferguson failed in that moment because he lost to a team that was much superior than him, because the reality is that Barcelona team was superior to United. This is why I'm saying, and this is why I've said last time, even if we reach the final, which is massive progression in the Champions League compared to what we did last season and compared to what we did in our entire history of Arsenal, if we lose to Inter Milan or Bayern Munich, I will happily say yes, that's not good enough. Sack him, because then I wouldn't say that's massive regression. Because
I wouldn't say sack him, but I would be
disappointed. No, I know. But the point is, that's what I'll consider it big failure, because I'll say you reached the final, you knocked out Madrid and PSG, and you lost to an inferior team. No offense to Inter Milan and Bayern fans. I'm not trying to say their teams are shit. They're not shit.
Based on what you're gonna say, you are having better chances to win against Inter Milan, Bayern Munich. Which team?
Because I've been watching them this whole season. Inter Milan, if you look at the players they have, they're not as good as our players. The only reason people hype up Inter Milan like mental is because they reached a Champions League final 2 years ago, right? Where they played AC Milan, Benfica, and Porto. Right? They didn't play anyone big. They actually played Bayern in the group stage and they lost home and away. I'm not trying to diss them. I'm just saying, in my opinion, when I look at our players and I look at their players, I think our players are better. Right? So in a final, unless Arteta bottles it, I think if we lose the final, it's because Arteta didn't manage the game well. Because I don't think it's a question of players, right? But even if 100%. By the way, you guys are saying if we reach the final, I think it's a good chance we don't even make it to the final because PSG is not a joke; they're a real team. I still would put us a slight favorites over them, but they're a serious threat. But I'm just saying, in case we reach the finals, even if we are at our very best. Saka is at his best. Rice is at his best. Odegaard is playing like 2 seasons ago. Arteta does the best ever tactics. We could still lose to Barca because they are that good.
If he wins this cup, then I would give him even 2-3 years more. If Arteta
see, I wouldn't do that. For me,
I want my team to win. I want to win.
100%. But for me, if he wins
UCL, that we never actually won in our history, man. So,
if he wins the Champions League for me, and let's say next season he finishes 5th, I'll give him only 1 more season after that.
No,
which
but
is basically 2 years.
You and Souls are pushing the narrative that we hate Arteta. You know, we don't hate Arteta.
No, I never said you do. I never said you do.
No, it's just the narrative that you guys pushing. I love my club more than any staff member or any player. I want Arsenal to be there holding trophies and recording those trophies under our name.
Agreed.
Right? If Arteta does it or somebody else, I would cheer them up. You know, I would not stand against them.
No. But for me, hold on, Sons. Hold on. The thing is, for me, because you lot have obviously tried to rebut what I said. For me, the main thing that I say, you lot say, if he loses in the final, he lost to an inferior team, he lost to a better team, yeah? But so are you saying there's no chance that we can beat Barcelona?
There's a chance.
No, of course there's a chance. 100% there's a chance.
There's a chance, but if we lose, it makes sense as to why.
So
if we lose to Inter or Bayern, I will never understand why, unless
the reason why I would be able to. I'm going to be a bit more harsh on Arteta, even if he gets to the Champions League final, is because this leg right now, this game right now that we played against Real Madrid has shown me all that I need to see. I know that we have players there that can create moments. I know we have players that can play a good defensive game. The midfield can be on its day, can be very, very good, if not world class, and the attack can be world class. We see Martinelli.
What does that have to do with Barcelona?
Hold on. So my problem is if he gets to the final, it's not like we're coming up against a team where we have no right to win that game. We have no chance.
No one
of
said
winning
that.
Game.
Okay, Saad, let me put this case to you.
You guys are acting like we just stumbled into the final.
No, Saad. Nobody's saying. And Souls cut me off. One second, Saad. Souls, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think you're saying, and I'm definitely not saying. I don't think either one of us is saying it's okay for us to go to the final and get dominated and slapped. No one is saying that. But let's assume, Saad, we reach the final and we put up such a good game. We play really well. We score and all the time. We have such a good performance, but we lose 2-1 because all the teams just outperformed us. Exactly.
If that situation happens, it shouldn't have a negative impact on Arteta's name.
But if we get slapped 4-0 or 3-0, that's a different conversation.
But here's the thing: Arteta has shown in this game, the players have shown that they can perform to a very, very high level, if not world-class level, on the world stage in the Champions League, the hardest competition in the world. Yeah, Arteta has shown that he can outclass a manager who has experience in the game for many, many years. So this is why I can't sit there and say,
what does that have to do with Barcelona, Saad?
No, but I'm getting to it. When we get to the final, when you get to the final, I can't be like, oh, well, we got to the final. I can't be like, oh, because we got to the final, he gets 1 more year for me.
Okay. So I have a question.
Hold on.
What does that have to do? I don't.
No, in layman terms, he needs to deliver.
If you just listen.
Okay, but link it to Barcelona because we're talking about different things.
I'm going to link it to Barcelona.
Okay.
With this,
go ahead.
Yeah, Habibi, if you guys keep on fucking
Souls, let him.
Keep on getting involved, I can't land.
Air traffic control is a good one. Go ahead.
Listen, the thing is, for me, he's shown me that these players can perform to a world-class level. The manager has shown me that he can tactically outclass a manager. Yeah, that's been there for many, many years.
Many times. He's done that many times. Yeah.
So the problem for me is my whole point goes back to Arteta can't get me over the line If we get to that final and he doesn't win it, it still proves that he can't get over the line. It doesn't.
See, you haven't addressed my point.
It doesn't matter about whether we get to the inferior team and.
Sad. Ash, let me speak.
Sad.
Hold on.
You landed.
It doesn't matter if we. It doesn't matter if we get beat by an inferior team. This and that. What I'm saying is, it still means he doesn't get us over the line.
He's right. Anyway, Ash, let me say anything. He's right in what he's saying. If you want to look at things as a blanket statement, which is that Arteta could not get us over the line without contextualizing why, then yes, if we lose to Barcelona, it still means he hasn't got us across the line. But when you dig deeper and understand the context behind it, you know why he hasn't got us across the line. So at the end of the day, you have to contextualize every situation differently. You can't look at things as one blanket, bro. It doesn't work like that.
Exactly.
And here's my point. The overall point isn't about Barcelona. The overall point to you and Sammy said is that you can't look at football as black and white, 1+0. Arteta, 5 years equals 0 trophies means he's not a good manager. That's not how football works. You have to look at context. You have to look at where we are, where we started, who was our players, what was our rebuild, what was our restructure.
Why do we keep on going back to the players, bro?
Because
Why do we
you
keep
have
on
to.
Speaking about these dumb players from 5 years ago.
I'll tell you why.
We're now 3 years with world-class players in our team.
No, it's not 3 years.
What is this, bro?
No, it's not 3 years. It's
3 years, Habibi. 22, 23, 23, 24, 24,
no.
25.
No,
3
no.
years
No,
with
no,
world-class players
no.
in our team.
No.
What are we doing here, bro?
This is our second season now with a world-class team, in my opinion. The first season with the Ramsdales and Tomiyasu's, everyone even said we overachieved. That squad was not good enough to challenge for.
It's the second season with top class players.
Exactly, yeah. So it's not.
Yeah.
It's nowhere near what people are saying it is. The point that I'm making, guys, is that if you're not willing to look at the journey and you're not looking to look at context and you're just looking at it as 1+0 and just he's been there 5 years, it invalidates your position when making a statement. To me it comes across a bit.
Wait, let
me land. But the point still stands, which is that when Arteta came into Arsenal, it was not the same team that Slot took over Liverpool. It was not the same team.
Saliba, Rice.
That's what I'm saying to you. No. What I'm saying to you,
we agree with those. We agree. You said 3 years ago.
Yeah.
You said 3 years ago. You said 3 years ago.
Gabriel wasn't.
Those guys weren't world class 3 years ago.
Gabriel wasn't world class.
Rice. Take out Rice. Then
Habibi, stop dying. Saka wasn't world class 3 years ago. Gabriel wasn't world class 3 years ago. Partey wasn't world class 3 years ago. Why are you lying, bro?
They were still performing to a high level, bro.
But they're not world class. You didn't get it. You didn't start to see.
They may have not been world class, but they were still performing to a high level.
No, but they should not have. But they should not have challenged for a Premier League title. Wait. Let me just land, please. Can I land? And I'll stay quiet afterwards. The point that I'm making is that it's a direct address to Sammy and to you, Saad, is that when you look at football, you have to contextualize the journey and contextualize the project before you talk about what you can win and what you can't win.
When is your project going to deliver?
For example, I can't see.
When are you going to deliver in this project, Sols?
I just said to you, he gets one more year. He gets one more year.
And next year he's going to get one more year.
No. This transfer window, he gets a transfer window to go and invest into the attack because the attack is, in my opinion, our biggest problem. He gets one more year.
He doesn't invest. Berta does, hopefully.
Yeah, Berta or whoever the hell it is, and he has to go and deliver and win us something next season, and not win us something as in what you think, win us a Prem or a Champs. And if he doesn't, then I can say, you know what, Arteta, you've taken us from where we was maybe at a level 3. You've taken us to a level 9. You can't get us to that 10. So that one jump, we've given you enough time now. By the end of the day, bro, you can't just go, he's been there 5 years. He's won us nothing. He's a bad manager. Look what Slot done. Slot took over a different team. Slot took over a very different rebuild. It's a very different. You have to look at things differently.
I never use the league. I never use the league for a reason. The league, I will never criticize Arteta for this season for not winning the league because I understand that the league players were missing this and that. Yeah, players were missing.
So then wait, what?
No.
You also said Soul, please. Let me handle Soul.
I get his point.
But the league,
no, you don't, because I screamed with him before. And he said, just like me, he will not judge Arteta by the FA Cup and League Cup. Even if Arteta wins both, it's not good enough.
No. Ash doesn't understand what I just said. I said I'm not going to judge him as harshly on not winning the Premier League based on the injuries. You need a consistent squad.
Yes.
You need to have your injuries.
So what's left?
But for the Champions League, brother, you've got a team there that's performed very well, regardless of injuries, this and that. The games are not as consistent in the Champions League as they are in the league, where you got games every
that's the
single
point.
week.
So basically, what you're saying is, I'm not going to judge him harshly. Yeah, I'm not going to judge him harshly on the league because I understand the circumstances. By the way, I'm actually blaming him for the league. I'm not even saying exempted from the league because I think of the top 3 reasons why we're not winning the league, I think he's involved in the first 2. But let's go by Saad's logic. Saad is saying I'm not going harsh on him on the league. Okay, so fair enough. So the league is out of the question. So I'm not going to judge Arteta based on the league. The only thing left is the Champions League. If he takes us to the final, that's better than what any other manager except for Arsene Wenger has done. And I'm not saying that's good enough. I'm not saying that's good enough. Let's go with that all the time. This is why every single thing you guys say, honestly, and I know Souls agrees with me in this, but I don't agree with what he views as a progression. This is why it always comes down to progression. Because notice, if you don't look at progression, your arguments, guys, will change midway. When you start, Saad also started on the same train of progression, and then later he switched. Sami will start by saying, I need him to deliver something. Okay, within how long, Sami? 3 years. Why 3 years? Why not 5? No, 5 years is too long. Why not 2 years then? No, 2 years is too little. How do you judge what's too little and what's too much? How do you... Once again, so please let me know.
If you consider yourself a big team, you need to deliver, Ash.
Yeah, I agree. But deliver within when? Because you're saying 5 years is too long. Someone might tell you actually 3 years is too long. Someone might tell you, like Lee Gunner and all his followers, 1 year is more than enough. In fact, Lee Gunner doesn't even say 1 year. Lee Gunner says a new manager comes in, this season wins the Premier League and Champions League. Everyone has different metrics. But if you look at, sorry, I'm going to land on this, Wallahi Souls. This is why when you look at progression, it applies to every club out there. Even United fans, and I use this United as an example because to give it away from Arsenal, to tell you guys I'm trying to be unbiased with all clubs. Even United, when they get someone like Ruben Amorim, and United fans come out saying, yeah, well, it's not his team, guys. I know we're being horrible as well, even after Erik ten Hag, but it's not his team. Give him the summer. It's BS. Because if I'm sacking someone like Erik ten Hag, and I'm saying, hey, bro, you're not good enough, get the hell out of here. You're losing us a lot of games. The guy I expect to come in, I'm not saying win a trophy, but get us to be in a better spot. If we're losing 10 games every 2 months, don't let us lose every 10 games again in the next 2 months. But he came in and the performances went as bad, if not worse. For me, that itself is like a sackable offense at the end of the season. And that's why I'm saying progression is always the best way to look at things. Because now there's no deadline. If a manager takes over Man City today, let's say Pep Guardiola leaves. Not even Pep, let's say
2 decades. 2 decades.
No, wait. I'm coming to it.
Talk to me about progression.
Yes, because Sami, we don't have Sheikh Mansour.
No, hold on. But what Ash is saying is basically exactly what I'm saying. It's literally word for word, which is that, yeah, I might have dug it a bit deeper in it. What I'm saying is you have to look at every project in where you are and where you want to be, not in how long, what's he won in this time, because every club is different. For example, Amorim, I'm telling you right now, in his forecasting with the owners, with Jim Ratcliffe will not be telling Amorim you need to win a league in the next 3 years. He will say to them, okay, first get us out of 14th, then get us to top 10, then get us to consistently challenging for top 6, then get us to challenging for top 4, then get us to challenging for a league, then win a Premier League. Do you think it's that easy?
You guys sound like Arsenal was established 5 years ago.
It's not. But we watched.
But Sami, you're also making it seem like we're competing. You're making it seem like we're competing in the championship. There's no other competition. There's no It's one thing to say progression sucks, for example, and don't look at progression if you're competing by yourself. If let's say I'm just looking my targets.
Migrate now because of you guys.
It doesn't matter. No, hold on. It doesn't matter. The point that I'm saying is that when you look at a club and where it started, you have to understand where you are and you have to be realistic on where you're going to go. Like if Amorim is going to come out and say, I'm going to win a league for Man United in the next 3 years, no one's going to listen to him. No one's going to believe him. Why? Because there's no God-given right for Man United to win a league in the next 3 years. Because Man City are better and they're going to improve. Liverpool are better. Arsenal are better. Right? But if Amorim takes them from 14th to maybe 6th in the next 3 years, that will be a good job for them because of where they started from. But if Slot from now finishes 7th in the next 2 years, it'll be okay. Where have you took us to? And look, I agree with you guys. And Gary Neville said it on NBC. If we don't get to a champs final this year, let's say we get knocked out tomorrow 4-0 on Wednesday. Regardless, we've regressed a lot in the Premier League. Our Premier League
100%
this year has been horrific. Especially now, I think we're projected to finish on like 71 or.
But you wouldn't
70.
even get him out though.
No, I wouldn't get him out because of where he is in the champs now. What I'm saying to you is that
No. Let's say, for instance, we got.
No, let's go by your scenario, Souls. Let's say he loses 4-0 and we get knocked out of the quarterfinals.
I think he still gets a year. I think he still gets.
No, this is where I disagree. I would sack him.
Yeah, I know. No, I know.
Yeah.
We've had a debate a million times.
Yeah, because it's regression then on every way.
But the overall point is that I disagreed with Sammy's point the most because I don't think Saad said this, but Sammy's one was the one that angered me the most, which is that what's he won in the last 5 years? Like for me, it's not as simple.
Yes. Answer me that question.
But bro, I've already answered it a million times. If you rate every single trophy, Arteta's already won one of the trophies that you rate a manager to win
in 5 years.
That's fine, but at the end of the day, is that how you look at football? What have you won? Do you not look at football as if
Yes, show me your medals, I'll show you mine. Show me your trophies, I'll show you mine.
Man, it's not, bro.
Yeah, but then by that logic, Sammy, we should sack the manager every year.
After 5-10 years, nobody will remember this progression shit
That's
that you're
fine.
talking about.
Then
Nobody will remember that Arteta.
No, they do.
And we
They do.
from
That's not true. That's not true because United, once again, Souls, United.
No, wait.
That's not true.
Then you have to watch a sport where it's done on a yearly basis. Where every season you get a new manager. Did you win something? No. Did you not sack him? Next manager. Did you win this year? No.
Exactly.
It works. Football is not a one-on-one based sport. If you like that,
listen. We gave him the time. So you're missing the point. I said I was with Saad's boat when we said we were backing the progression, but now we're not seeing the progression. We're seeing a plateau. I had this argument with Ash previously.
Do you agree, Sammy? This is the first year of the plateau.
No.
No, wait. If we reach a Champions League final, no. Souls. Once again, because he said plateau.
You're talking about Prem or overall season?
No. Overall.
Is this his
overall
first
season? No,
year
it's a slight trend, but it's not enough. It's not enough to keep.
No, so if we reach. One second, Souls, please. If we reach a Champions League final,
it's a slight progression, but you have to take an account the cups that he dropped in the bin. You have to take an account where we were.
He didn't drop them. Okay, even if we take the cups, which
whatever you want to call them, we lost them.
Okay, but he didn't regress in those cups either.
Okay, and the Premier League, based on your point tally, we regressed.
I think.
So where do we go from
guys?
We regressed.
I just think
with the injuries he's got this season, if this guy gets to a champs final, okay. And he wins it. I think he deserves a new contract. Look.
No, stop it. That's also BS. But anyways, guys, I just think let me just say this so we can move on, Souls.
Go on.
I was just going to say a couple of just on first of all, the thing Sam you mentioned about people don't remember progression is BS because United did not win shit for the first 7 years. Fergie was building and then they started winning. All United fans should be talking about how its first 7 years they had to go through, especially the ones who were born in the 70s and 80s and were watching football back then, went through that kind of progression to get there. Man City, when Sheikh Mansour came in 2008, they went through 3-4 years before they finally won the Premier League and then continued. Yes, their progression was a lot faster, but that's because football was different back then. You could spend infinite amount of money, and they obviously spent so much money with no repercussions. And the last thing I'll say is because Lutfan and many people say this all across the globe, which is who cares about project? Who cares about process? Guys, every big club that gets somewhere through a project. Barcelona and the best team we've ever seen came through a project that they spend money on through La Masia.
A project has to have results, Ash.
I agree. With
empty-handed and tell me progression.
I agree, but that's why I'm saying progression. Do you know why progression makes sense? Because you and Saad and Lutfan and all the guys who are saying sack him, even if he makes the Champions League final and loses to Barcelona 2-1, all of you guys, I guarantee you'll have different sort of deadlines. For example, Lutfan says, no, there is a deadline. Okay, Lutfan, tell me what is. Once again, Sami, Lutfan, tell me what is your deadline? Because I guarantee you, so many Arsenal fans will disagree with your deadline. They'll say 5 years or 4 years, that's too much. 2 years max, right? By that logic, Lutfan, if Arteta gets sacked this summer and we get a new manager, I don't know who we get. Let's say Luis Enrique. Would you guys sack him next summer? Would you guys? Once again, Sami, I rate the players, of course, 100%. Yeah.
Okay, good. We have good players, right? So you think that we believe that we can win the league, right?
Yes, I agree.
Not with this current team. When everyone's fit,
hold
yeah.
on.
No.
Let's
I
say-
think we could
let's
have
say-
won it this
let's say
season with this team. Yeah. Go
with
on.
everybody fit, no injuries. Just let's,
Yes.
Okay,
This
good.
this
So
season,
why
yes,
is
I
he
think
not
we won
delivering?
it.
Why he's not delivering?
Sorry, and
Why
I
he
agree,
cannot
and I've blamed Sammy. I agree, and I've blamed him for it. And I've said in the league he has regressed, and that's why for me, because for me the Real Madrid result never even came in the picture. I'm like, we're out of the quarterfinals.
Unless you're convinced there's nobody better than Arteta, then this is a total.
No, it's
different
not. It's
No,
not
that's
about
not
that.
what I'm
It's
saying,
not about
that's not
that.
what we're
It's not about
saying.
that, Sammy. There obviously
we're
might be
going
people
into
better.
guys. We're going into new arguments here. Can we just wrap it up and then?
No,
we just
I know. I'm
Okay,
just going to
okay,
end it
okay,
by.
fine, fine.
saying.
I'm just gonna end it by saying.
No, actually, I'm just saying. All I want to say to kind of summarize it is, I think I hold in the footballing, and again, I know football's an opinion-based sport, but I mean,
madness, bro.
in football, I think I hold a fair opinion, which is that I judge football based on progression, and I think where Arteta came from, you have to contextualize his journey. Look at where he started from, the team he had, the players he had, the money he spent, and where he's taken us. He's taken us from a banter club, finishing 8th, 9th, and 10th, to an elite team challenging.
Nobody's
Europe.
taking that away from himself.
No, that's fine.
Nobody's taking
So,
it.
no,
Yeah.
that's fine. So that means every single year he's progressed us as a club, and that's all you can base a manager on, because there is no God-given right to win any major trophy, e.g., Champs and Prem.
No one said there is.
And you have.
Can
So,
I?
and to Saad's point, I do agree with him that if we get to a Champs final on a one-off game, of course, yes, you can win a trophy, you can beat Barcelona, you can beat anybody. But at
You
the
can
end
have
of the
both.
day,
You can have
but,
both. So
yeah,
you can have
but-
progression and winning trophies. You know.
No. But
Why
but-
one without the
no,
other?
But bro, I'm saying you can have both. But I'm saying when Arteta's taken us he's taken us to an elite challenging team, bro. Yeah. Even with all the injuries we've had this year, I see Man United complaining about injuries. I see City complaining about injuries, saying we lost Rodri and they're 6th. We've had so many injuries and we're still 2nd, by the way. So at the end of the day, every single team now, they're used to Arsenal winning games now. We're an elite level club now. And at the end of the day, we're in that position where we are because of Arteta. Because at the end of the day, even this season,
So-
with the start, even this
Let me
season,
just ask them this question, then we can move on. Saad and
Okay.
Sami, just a quick answer. That's it.
Yeah.
If we sack Arteta this summer, let's say he quits, we sack him, whatever happens, and we get a new manager, someone good, someone we all rate. I don't know, Luis Enrique,
Okay.
whoever it is,
Okay.
and he doesn't win anything next season, should we sack him?
No.
Debatable.
Why not? Why not? You
Debatable.
guys said trophies. He's taking on a good team, not a bad team, because I
Yeah.
think we all agree. I
how
don't know,
long
Souls
does he
agrees.
get sad? How long does he get sad?
I'll give a manager.
Hey, wait, Lutzfan, why are you saying maximum
I'll
2
give-
seasons?
I'll
I don't get it.
I'll give.
I would
Why?
give him 2 seasons as well.
I'll give a manager.
Because he already has the basis.
I'll give a manager. I'll
But
give a
why
manager
two? One season.
I'll give.
Wait, let's not answer. Let's
Can I
not
speak?
answer.
Can I speak?
Yeah. What's
I'll
your
give a
answer?
manager 2 to 3 seasons, and depending on how they're doing, after those 2-3 seasons, if you don't win, we get out.
But why would you give him 2 or 3 seasons when I think all of us agree our team is so close to winning, or at least has been, right?
Yeah.
I think we all agree our players are good enough. Of
Way
course, we
better than
do need.
what Arteta took over. Way better.
Yeah.
than Arteta.
Obviously, yes, we need a striker and stuff. But let's assume we get that. Let's assume we get that this summer, which because Berta apparently is going to get it, right? And Berta is the new sporting director. If we do all of that and we're this close, why would you give the manager 2-3 seasons? He's coming in and taking a ready-made team. He's not taking a bum team. And if, as per Lutzfan, which I agree with, if Carlo Ancelotti could do it with Chelsea, if Mancini could do it with City, if Pellegrini could do it with City, if Conte could do it with Chelsea, why can't a new manager win with Arsenal when the players are ready?
Yeah. Why would you?
So if this is why I'm saying your
So
logic
you didn't
falls
even let
down.
us answer. You didn't even let
Go
us
ahead.
answer. You just start speaking,
Yalla,
bro.
Answer.
This guy
Answer.
says. This guy
Okay,
says.
so-
Why?
Don't
This guy
reflect on-
says. Then why did the
Don't
manager?
reflect.
And he
Don't
gives
keep
us
thinking
2
about your
seconds,
answer. Yeah,
1
yalla.
second, and then that's it. Yalla.
Yalla.
No,
Answer,
he's not
sorry.
thinking.
Souls,
thinking.
don't cut him off because he's going. If you cut him off, he's going to say Allah yarhamul walidain, Allah yarhamul walidain, and he's going to deflect. Yalla, answer. No one will cut you off.
It's
Yalla, I'm
not
muting my
about
mic.
deflecting. It's not about deflecting. Thank you very much. The thing is, for me, I'm not going to get rid of a manager after 1 year. I think that's outrageous. I know that the team is able to win now, but you still have to give a manager. You don't know what that manager is what's gonna happen with that manager. You don't know what's gonna happen during the season. For this guy, Arteta, yeah, who's been here, he's run his course, bro. He's been here for 3 years. He's done whatever he's been doing. For me, Arteta has made mistakes in
Agreed.
tactically in
Agreed.
important games. So for me to judge a manager, I can't just judge a manager over one season.
Why not?
I have to
If
judge a
he's-
manager over 2 seasons. You have to give
If
him. you have to-
Berta, yeah,
Because
Berta, exactly. I agree with you. If
no,
Berta gives him that,
But Ash, you're talking to me. You're
What about,
talking
because I want to
me
answer your
like
question
as
as
if,
well.
yeah. I'll just finish off here. You're talking to me like as if I'm one of these fans that want to get managers out. Bang, get in, win the league.
No. I know.
It doesn't have to be like that.
Yes.
Yes, you could say, oh, this
I'm
team
asking,
is-
what's your
is-
criteria,
team
bro?
is-
You're not telling me
team
your
is able to win.
criteria.
Your team is able to win now. Do you know what I mean? So why can't, if he doesn't win, you should have to sack him. But it's not always
Habibi,
like
what's
that.
your criteria?
Stuff
What's
that-
your
stuff
criteria
that
for
you know
sacking a manager, a new manager?
I'll tell you the criteria. You
Yes,
said
tell me, Sami.
to me, you told us last time that we went to Emirates to become a club that competes with the big European boys, right? With the Bayern
Agreed.
Munich, with the Real Madrid. Okay, so I'm gonna hold you accountable to that statement. What
Yeah.
did Real Madrid do in the past 15 years with the manager situation?
They won a bunch of Champions League.
Did they maintain like 3-4 years for each manager, or did they sack a couple of manager in 1 year?
Whenever there was a regression, they sacked the manager. Yeah, not 1 year. No,
There is one.
when there was a regression, exactly. I agree. When there was a regression, they sacked the manager.
There's 1 year, so they
They've-
hold their cup.
okay, let's use your logic.
Hold on.
They sacked the manager after 1 year. Yeah, correct.
Yes, many times they did. Rafa Benitez, Solari, I think.
Yes.
Many
Lopetegui.
times.
I mean, Lopetegui.
Lopetegui.
Lopetegui was sacked after 1
One
year.
se-
Yeah?
Whatever. So whatever the case is,
Okay.
1 year they gave him 1 year and they kicked him out of the door. Why?
Exactly.
Because they hold the club in certain standards. If you want to become like Real Madrid,
Yeah.
like you said that we want to become a big dynasty,
Yeah.
then you
Yeah.
have to behave like one.
So you would do. That's what I'm asking you, Sami. What would you do?
I would. Yes, I would. If
After
I
one
see
season?
if I see such a dip, yes, of course, I would say this is not working. I'm sorry.
So,
Thank you
Sami,
very
this
much.
is where I agree with you. See, while I don't agree with your criteria, but at least
Okay.
you're consistent. I'm like, okay, this is Sami's logic. Sami's logic is it's year by year. This year you win a trophy.
It's a logic that's never gonna happen.
No, wait. So I don't care.
It
But
is
my
working-
point
it
is,
is working for
I
other
don't
clubs,
care.
yeah.
But at least he's consistent because his logic is consistent. At least his logic is, hey, you're coming in. We're a big club. You've got 1 year. Win me trophies again, whatever the trophy is. I don't rate the League Cup and FA Cup, but I mean, I don't rate them to the point where we judge a manager. But fair enough. That's his logic. The same thing he says: if Arteta gets sacked and a new manager comes in and he doesn't win a trophy next season, doesn't win a trophy, sack him. While I disagree, but at least I respect the logic because I'm like, okay, I see what your criteria is. It's consistent across the board. Saad's logic is inconsistent because he says, I'll give him years, I'll give him this. But if a new manager comes in, I'll give him 2 or 3 years. Why would you give him 2 or 3 years? Because I cannot sack a manager in 1 year. What? Okay, so you cannot sack a manager if he progresses you to a Champions League final. Same logic. I asked, who did I ask?
It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing, bro. This manager has had this team and built this team for his system and built it for multiple systems. So,
I agree. But Arteta, let's say we sacked him.
Hold on.
Talk about the new manager.
So the manager comes in.
Yeah. Berta
The
gives him what he
players-
wants.
The players are getting used to him. The players are getting used to him and getting used to how he wants to play. All of this stuff. Let's say, for instance,
Okay.
the first season, I still see good things in the manager. Tactically, he's doing well, but he just doesn't edge it and isn't able to win us a Premier League or a Champions League.
Like
But
Arteta.
I see. No, but hold on. It's not like Arteta, bro, because Arteta
is.
has still shown.
By the
us-
way, this is why we
Arteta's still
jumped into
shown
the
us
wagon, because
in
he won a
multiple
trophy.
competitions that he gets outclassed by managers tactically multiple times. So he's shown us that he can't.
Name me
sit
one.
and-
Name
Can I ask
me
him-
one.
No,
and-
once
and
again,
go
Souls,
back
because I want to
back
get
with managers
Sad. So
tactically.
just ask him questions, see how he'll trap himself. Sad. You are sacking. Let's again, guys. This is all in the context of we reach the Champions League finals and we lose to Barca. If outside that, I'm with Saad and Sami. Saad, if you're sacking Arteta after him reaching a Champions League final and narrowly losing to Barcelona, why are you sacking him? Is it not to win the big stuff? So if it's to win the big stuff, why would you wait another 2-3 years?
What do you
Didn't
mean?
work.
why
If
would I
he's
wait another-
if Arteta is getting closer and closer to win the big stuff, right? But you still sacked him because you said he's not getting over the line. Why would you sack him and sign someone and give him 2 to 3 years to get the big stuff that Arteta is getting close to?
The reasoning why is because I've seen cracks. I've seen the way he in a season, tactically, he drops the ball on certain games, important games.
But tactically, he's also destroyed big teams. The new manager might not do it.
That's fine. That's fine. But that's the conversation that we're having about the new manager. We wait for the new manager and we give him time to see what he does.
guys.
But
So
with
why aren't you
Arteta-
holding him
with
to the same
Arteta-
standard?
With Arteta in 3 seasons, with Arteta, he has shown.
Yeah.
And actually, let's not include the first season we challenged because nobody expected that. In
Two
the
seasons.
In
Okay.
these last 2 seasons, he's shown that he's got outclassed by certain managers.
So Saad, why aren't you holding our? Why aren't you holding the new manager?
Important moments,
Guys, wallahi, al-azim, last question and then I'm done. Uqsam billah, last question and then I'm done. Souls. No, wallahi, last question and then I'm done. Souls, wallahi al-azim. Wallah, last question and then I'm done. Wallahi, I'm done. Saad, why aren't you holding the new manager that comes in at Arsenal, assuming Berta gives him what we need, which we all believe Berta will do? Why aren't you holding that new manager to the same standard as Chelsea and Man City and Real Madrid and Barcelona all held their new managers when they expected them to win the league in the first season or get out?
Because I have my own standards.
Because they all did it.
But I have my own
you have
standards.
low.
My
Okay,
standards, it's fine. They can be low, but they're my standards.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Nobody can tell me my standards. But this is the thing.
But
Ash, this
I'm
is the
done.
thing for me. This is the thing for me. I gave Arteta 3 seasons. When he challenged, I gave him that first season. Okay, khalas, you didn't win the league. Yeah, I give you two seasons now. Let's see what you can do. Win me that league. Win me the Champions League. Win me even a Europa League. I would have taken it because that's still a European trophy in my eyes. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, I still would count that as a major trophy because even if it's Europa League, I'd count it as a major trophy because it's a European trophy. People will laugh at that, whatever it is. Yeah, but for me, I have to give that manager 2 years. That's why when a new manager comes in, I'm going to give him the same amount that I gave to Arteta, which was 2 years. I will give Arteta 2 years. I'm not going to count that third season. I might give him 3 years, but that's madness.
But look, I actually agree with Saad. If we was to get any new manager, you cannot give him a season because I don't believe in that model. I think even some of the biggest clubs in the world, look at Man United right now.
I agree, by the way. I was just making a point.
Man United are probably the second biggest club in the world, or third, and it's going to take them years to recover from being in a bad position, regardless if even it's been £1 billion, regardless of who the manager is. The point that I'm making, which is what I don't understand, is that if you sack Arteta today, and any new manager that comes in, yes, he comes in and he takes over a much better team than Arteta did. He takes over a world-class defense, takes over a world-class midfield, and takes over probably a subpar attack that he needs to invest in. Maximum he should be getting is a year, maximum 2, and that's if he gets the investment. Arteta, if Asad, if you're willing to give any new manager 3 years, then are you saying that Arteta, that any new potential manager that comes in has more of a chance of winning a Prem or a Champs than Arteta does in the next 3 years?
But that's the problem. It has to be a better manager, bro.
But again,
it has to be a better manager, bro.
How do you quantify a better manager? Because in recent history,
based on experience in winning trophies, based on handling title races, based on handling big competitions, handling big players. Like, bro, there's multiple ways you can establish.
That's not how it works. Because in recent history,
guys, let's move on to the next topic. We have a lot to discuss.
Last point.
Souls, wallahi, Souls, we have a lot to discuss.
We're going from.
Yeah. We all, khalas.
I'm just saying. In recent history, the most experienced managers have come into clubs and not performed well. Anyway,
we have a nice super chat we need to go through. Yalla.
Yeah. We need
to end this topic.
We need to go for it. Big up to Abud who says, by the way, big up for the 9.99 super chat, man. Big up to you, my bro.
Big up, Abud.
To be honest, with all this shit our squad went through this season, we will be lucky to make it that far. Most of our players weren't world class when they came. Okay, fair enough. They were all relatively young, but we're growing. Listen, a lot of people were saying that they were performing to a world-class level. They just didn't want to give them the time.
That year,
No. But they were performing to a world-class. They were performing to a world-class level, but people didn't want to give them the world-class title.
Speaking of world-class,
but it is what it is.
No, they weren't performing world-class level.
So speaking of
listen, big up to But big up,
Yeah,
big up,
big
to
up
Abud for
AMD.
the super chat.
Yeah.
Big up,
Ah,
to Abud
Abud,
for the
sorry.
super chat. My broski,
Big up, bro.
my brother. I was gonna say
So-
brother, broski, the same thing. My brother, big up to you, man. Thank you very much for the super chat. You're very
Big up,
kind.
Abud.
Bro. Big up, man.
W
Big
in
up.
the chat for Abud.
Big up to you, man. So speaking of world-class player, Partey.
Is he going to be available? Let's talk about Real Madrid second.
He is world class this
I
season.
think,
I don't give a
yeah,
shit.
he
what
is.
people say.
No, I agree with you 100%. For
Yeah.
first time,
Un-
Ashes, it feels good. It feels good to agree with you sometimes.
Come on, Sammy. Alhamdulillah. No, he's definitely world class. I don't get why people.
I'm agreeing.
Nobody is.
Don't even know how that
No,
works.
but hold on. Nobody in this panel is going to say that Partey is not world class.
Nah, but everyone outside Arsenal fans should be like, oh, it's not all. You don't have any world class players. Shut the hell
I know,
up.
because
These
really
people are
like
so deluded.
No. Partey is definitely. I'm not even. Let's not even debate that. He's world class. Anyone who knows
Yeah.
football knows that. Let's move on.
Yeah, so you guys think he's
See,
gonna be
there you
I
go.
think
There
he's
you go. Akmal, I liked everything you were saying
He's an
until now.
Arsenal fan.
Bruh,
He's an Arsenal fan. though.
relax. I know he is. I could see, but come on.
It
man.
doesn't matter if he's an
Shame,
Arsenal fan or not. There's a lot of bad Arsenal fans. He look.
But I
not a
hate
bad
it. I
I'll
hate it when he
summarize-
plays in the right.
I'll
right
summarize
wing,
this.
right
He's
very-
a right
I'll-
back. Yeah,
I'll
yeah. I
summarize
agree.
this very- I'll summarize this
Horrible.
very easily.
A
I'll
waste.
summarize very easily. If you're one of the best players in your position in world football, you are world class. And the reason why I won't give a number like 2 or 3 or 4, because some positions have more players than others.
Have more. I agree.
Yeah.
I
So
agree.
you know what I mean? So like in the CDM role, there may only be 3 or 4, but in the right wing and role, there might be 8. So just because
Correct.
someone's 7th, it doesn't mean they're not world class. So at the end of the day, if you're one of the best players in your position in world football, you're world class. And anybody who watches football this season will know the Partey's been probably one of the best midfielders in world football. He's been
In
world
world
class.
football. Yeah.
Until he
Yeah.
plays him right back.
But to answer your question, is he going to be available? I think he will be available. I think Arteta's.
They're saying there's a hope.
Yeah, obviously
Picked up a knock.
No, he'll be available. I saw.
He
Arteta.
will be available, bro.
He'll be- 'cause I
He was
saw-
asked.
The only
You know,
player is
if
going to
you
be
can
out is
read-
Jorginho.
No. If you can read Arteta's facial expression, when the commentator asked him, he felt something. What did he feel? He said, "Oh, something." You can tell if he was actually serious. Arteta would not be smiling like that. Trust me,
You
he
would
would
see
be
some
Exactly,
serious
yeah.
eyes.
He'd be visibly upset by the news. Trust me,
Yeah.
managers wear their emotions on their face. So at the end of the day, he'll be available. He came out on NBC.
And I'll tell you guys this: if Partey is missing that game, if he's not available,
Could be techie.
a Madrid comeback has a higher percentage. I'm not
way
gonna lie.
higher, of course, 100%.
Yeah.
Because
No
then
doubt.
I wouldn't say way higher because I think he
Higher,
can
higher.
Merino. Yeah, but higher. Like I think
Higher.
a Madrid comeback chance goes from 5% to like 15 or 20%.
agreed. Yeah, no, I think
But who would come in his position? Who would play?
Rice plays the 6 and Merino plays the 8 and Trossard plays up
trust it
top.
up front, yeah. But look, on that, I wouldn't say the Real Madrid. I know we're going to preview the second leg now. I wouldn't say even with Partey that the comeback's 5%, because look, I think the 4-0 is 5%, but I think 3-0 extra time and pens. I think I'd give them at least. I know.
The first 20 minutes is going to be crucial.
No. I know all the data shows that it probably is 5% in terms of Real Madrid never come back from a 3-0 deficit in the first leg. All these things, they've never beaten us. I know the stats show otherwise, but I just know Real Madrid, and I think that and I look at our team with Kiwior and without Gabriel.
Habibi, forget stats. I'm not even bringing stats. I've watched Madrid so many times this season. Every single time they've played against a team that has competent attacking style, right? They have been in dangerous positions. Their defense is absolutely horrendous this season, and they're missing. Three of their 4 defenders are out, and you're basically saying, even if let's assume somehow Mbappe, Vinny Jr., Rodrigo, and Bellingham are all on smoke, right? Let's assume they're all on smoke. Them scoring 3 is in itself very difficult because we have not conceded more than 2 goals all season. But on top of that, they have to score 3 while we score 0. I know people like to say, oh, Arsenal's attack is not that great. It's only Bukayo Saka. But every time we've played a big team, we have always scored. We have always scored.
Ash, I have a question for you. If we were facing Barca in the first leg and we beat Barca 3-0, let's just say we did. In this upcoming second leg at the Barca Stadium, with
I'd say it's impossible for them.
No, but from what you've watched of Barca, what would you give them as a percentage to get back?
Higher than Madrid for sure, 100%.
What would you give them though? Like
let's assume Partey is available. I would probably say if they lost 3-0 the first leg, I would probably say
at the Camp Nou.
30%.
30% is exactly what I was thinking, Ash.
Yeah.
30% is
Because
that means
because I think Barcelona defend.
That means you're rating 5% to 30% means that you're giving, like, you think Barca are
25% higher
than Real Madrid.
because I think
they are way
Barcelona
better than Real Madrid.
600%.
They're
They're way
better. And I
better than
think
Real Madrid. Are you
Well,
crazy?
the league table doesn't prove that, but anyway, we can.
No, it does because the reality is, in terms of head to head, they have dismantled Madrid twice this season.
I
the
agree,
difference,
but they're only 4
the
points
reason
off
why
them,
they're
though.
only 4 points, the reason why they're only 4 points ahead is because they went through a
Nah,
patch
the
in the
blitz
middle
season.
where
Yeah.
they went through 7-8 games without a single win. They
Who-
actually
who-
went
who?
from
Who?
Barcelona.
Barca.
They went
No,
from
but they
9
need to be-
points.
but they need to be criticized for that.
Listen to me. They went from 9 points ahead of Madrid to 6-7 points behind Madrid, and now back to 4 points. So that tells you the difference between them and Real Madrid. Real Madrid have been the same from the start till the end. And also, why I would give Barcelona a higher chance is because Barcelona are better defensively and better offensively and better, in my opinion, in the midfield than Real Madrid this season. Whereas when we play against,
they are also our boogie team in Europe.
exactly, but when we play against Real Madrid, in my opinion, even if their attackers are on smoke and they end up doing incredible stuff, right? The reality is their midfield and their defense especially has not been that great this season. So even if they are on smoke up top, we also can score against them. With Barcelona, if Barcelona are on their day, everyone is on fire, their defense can shut us down. Probably, I'd say, like, they have a chance of shutting us down. But I would still say 50% because,
no,
we have been too good against the teams.
Look, I would agree that the percentage probably about 10% anyway, because I still think it's relatively low. One, because I think we defend very well, even without our best defender this season. And two, I think Arteta will know how to coach this game. I hope he doesn't. Again, the only thing I hope, which I know he won't, but I hope Arteta is not telling them, come out, sit back, try and contain the pressure for the first 30 minutes.
That's bad.
Because if he tries to do the whole let's get through the first 30 minutes, sit deep, we can't. If Real Madrid get a goal within the first 20, then the game starts to look very scary, because then we're on the back foot. You know what I mean? So, like, we need to.
We have to press them and attack as
Look,
well.
we need to
Guys,
play.
can I
Big up AMD. I saw it coming. Big up AMD.
Abud, man.
Big up Abud. What a legend. What a boss.
Hey guys, can we get W's
Big
in the
up
chat?
W, guys.
Can we get
W in
W's
the chat for Abud, bro.
Abud, man. Wallahi. This guy
I
is
have
crazy,
to
bro.
give
This
him a
guy's
W in the
crazy.
chat.
Wallahi, guys, just you know what, bro?
Big up Abud. What a
Big
legend.
up AMD. Why
Fucking
for that?
W's in the chat, man. W's in the fucking chat, man. Oh my god, man. Abud, wallahi, you're a legend, bro. You're actually a legend.
Appreciate the content. Inshallah, we'll keep it coming, Abud. You'll see more
Yeah,
arguments
man,
like
listen, this show is gonna be massive. Don't worry, man. I already see that this show, from what I see already, I see that this show is gonna be massive, bro. Just based on the arguments we have, just based on the personalities that we have. Do you know what I mean? It's gonna be mad, bro. Adding T to it just freaking adds more freaking petrol. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah.
Oh my god, he sent another one. He sent another one.
Hey, hold on. You know, what's my cut here, boy? I'm seeing bad teeth.
Shut the hell up, you and your cut. Shut the hell up. It's all sides, bro. Bro, big up Abud.
Hey,
Big up Abud.
AMD, who's your
Hey,
favorite?
AMD, you absolute legend, bro.
Who's your favorite on the panel, Habibi?
Big up Abud. Wallah, big up Abud. W's in the chat. Guys,
hold on. Abud,
more
be
W.
honest. Abud, be honest. Who's your favorite on the show? Which one are your favorite panelists? I don't think it's gonna be me, but
No, I think it'll be sad.
Big up Abud.
I don't think it's gonna. I don't think.
I mean, he's sending it to your channel, so it probably is.
Yeah,
you, but
no,
still.
but I think he likes. He might like somebody else. Abud, who's your favorite person? Everybody in the chat right now. Who's your favorite panelist?
I know I'm gonna be lost. I'm nobody's favorite, 100%.
Yeah, you shouldn't be. You shouldn't be. Yeah.
Put a poll, man.
Somebody was saying
again,
Spurs is their favorite. Everybody give us your favorite.
Yeah, we can actually put
right
a
now. Everybody
Put a
give
poll,
us
man.
your favorite. Actually, yeah, we can do a poll.
Maybe,
Yeah,
put up
yeah,
a poll.
do
I
a
cannot
poll.
do it here, but I think you can, though.
No, I can.
Because it's from YouTube, right? Not from here.
Yeah.
Lufan said AMD, well, why don't you buy Arsenal?
Sorry?
Why don't you buy Arsenal and get rid of Kroenke?
He's like, damn, bro, that stuff. Now all of you are great. Wallah, you're such a legend, Abud.
Wallahi, big up to you. Big up to you.
Big
But I'm
up,
gonna put it
guys.
down though. 100%. I'm gonna put it down because
Put
we
a
need
poll
to,
and all your answers are anonymous, guys.
yeah. Your answers are anonymous. Do you know what I mean? So you ain't gonna be offending none of us. Let me add an option. There we go.
So speaking,
But if
until-
Souls is
until
last,
Saudi,
it will be hilarious. I'm not gonna lie.
If I'm
gonna be
last,
No, I expect to be last.
Listen.
Come on.
after this one,
I'm kidding, I'm
gonna
kidding.
be last.
I think it will be. I'm gonna predict. I think it will be Ash first, then Saad, then Sammy.
No,
then
I don't
me.
think me, bro. I'm loud.
I can't even put
God.
T because do you know what I mean?
Yeah, don't put T anyway.
Listen, love for T, bro. T's my brother. Do you know what I mean? But you guys, let us know who's your favorite panelist.
I'm telling you, it's gonna be Saad, Ash. There's gonna be Ash, Saad, Sammy, and then me.
We got 7 votes already, and Ash is winning already, bro.
I
Do you
knew.
know what
I
I mean?
told you. I knew it anyway.
Come on.
Don't
Yeah.
get gas. Don't get gas. Don't get gas.
Oh my god.
Calm
Okay,
down,
I
calm down.
cannot guess, bro. But
He's acting like a. He's acting like.
Maybe we still have to talk about Liverpool and City's win.
Yeah.
City's win was mad.
Listen, Abud, big up to you, my broski. You're gonna make me cry, brother. Do you know what I mean?
Big up, Abud.
Big up to you, wallahi.
Inshallah, to bigger heights.
Yeah.
You guys will see Saad's channel on bigger heights, inshallah.
Inshallah, inshallah. But guys, listen. Let's just quickly get predictions for the second leg because we actually do need to speak about these other ones, man. So predictions for the second leg. Score predictions for that game.
I'm gonna say 2-2 for me. I think they score, but I think we score as well. I don't think we keep a clean sheet. It'd be impossible. I know we have never conceded against Real Madrid in our history, but history is what, 3 games? Like let's relax. I think we'll concede, but I also think we'll score 2-2.
So
It's gonna be.
I can see us losing, to be honest.
Okay,
But
Sammy,
1-0 Madrid, I think.
fair.
Real Madrid, yeah.
Yeah, I can see.
Souls?
Honestly, I think it'll be 2-1 to Madrid. Or actually, no, I'd say 3-1 to Madrid. I think they're gonna come all guns blazing. I think they will score. I think we'll go through. I think we'll go through. They'll win 3 goals. I think we'll hit them on a counter and because they'll be open at the back and we'll score 1 goal. And I think we'll go through. We'll go through 4-3 on aggregate.
I actually think it's going to be 2-1 to Real Madrid.
Wow, none of us predicted an Arsenal win. Damn.
No, but I feel like
it's at the Bernabeu and they're going to be going all guns blazing.
I know, but you guys, you realize if Madrid end up attacking us because they have to attack us like crazy to score, right? You realize if they end up
leave so much space.
They leave so much space for us to counter, and every big team that has done that, every big team that has done that against us, like in the last couple of years, they have been punished.
I think Arteta is a pussyo. That's why.
Well, he wasn't a pussyo against the Emirates, bro. Stop doing that. Come on, Sammy. Even if you don't like him, you gotta be honest, bro. Come on. He came on attacking, bro.
I swear to God, I think because he it's his job is on the line. That's how it is for him.
But Sammy, we said that at the Emirates, right? And he attacked.
Hold on. Sammy killed me, bro. That Arteta's a pussy, got me out of nowhere, bro. I swear that killed me, bro. This man's so I think.
Yeah, he didn't say Arteta is a coward. Arteta is scared. He's like Arteta's a pussy. I was like, bro, the guy just won 3-0 in the first leg, bro. Let's at least give him that.
Which is shocking, even to you, Ash.
Well,
don't tell me you expect
it. It is. I'm not gonna lie. It was shocking.
Let's just check out everybody else's. Kamel is saying 3-1 to Arsenal. Marco's saying 2-0 to Arsenal. Aaron's saying Real Madrid 2-1.
I think that's likely as well, yeah.
Guna LB is saying 2-2. Abud is saying, big up Abud, 2-1 to Madrid. Yeah, that's
Ash Ketchum is saying 2-2 as well.
That's very important. I can't lie. They if we keep them from scoring in the first 30 minutes, it could be techie. I genuinely think they won't come back.
What if we score first in the first 20-30 minutes? What do you guys think?
It's over.
No. In that game, do you guys still think we lose that game? Or we'll end up winning that game?
No. That's I think we'll win that game. If we score in the first 30 minutes, or even if we score first, we'll win that game. Because their heads will drop. Their heads will drop. They'll be like, bro, these guys are untouchable, bro. We can't do nothing against them. They're scoring against us when we have to score against them. Like you can imagine what's going through their head. I've seen what these men have been doing on Instagram and Twitter and all of this. Yeah, Yeah, these players, we're ready for Wednesday, this and that, bro. I've never seen them start tweeting like this, bro. We really
Guys,
suck.
I'm not gonna lie. Initially, it scared me a bit. I'm not because this is the only team that does all these things, and I'll be scared a bit when they're like, "Oh, we're gonna close the roof of the Bernabeu and the fans and this. You watch what we're gonna do." And I'm like, "Bro, actually, this scares me a little bit because it is Real Madrid."
It is.
Then I remembered. I remembered when they lost 1-0 at the Allianz Arena in 2014. No, 2014. When was it? I can't remember.
2013.
No. There was a year when they lost. I think 2012, 2013, maybe. Yeah, they lost one game, and Marcelo came talking a big game. They're gonna come to our ground. To be honest, they won the second game, but they lost. But they lost on penalties.
Yeah.
No, that was 2011, 2012. Sorry, 2012, 2013. Madrid lost to Dortmund. My bad. Actually, the time Madrid did play Bayern at the Allianz Arena in the second leg, they slapped them 4-0. So maybe I should be scared. I'm not gonna lie.
But listen,
that was at the Allianz Arena as well.
So assuming guys that we go through versus Real Madrid, what do you think of the league? Should we play our players or should we just rest them?
The same as the Everton. Rest half the players and keep rotating accordingly.
I
would never advocate for resting the whole team. I don't think.
No, you have to keep them in shape and form somehow, right?
Exactly.
Yes,
exactly. And I also don't.
You do exactly what you done against Brentford. You bring them on.
Brentford, sorry, not Everton. Yeah.
Yeah, you bring them on maybe 60th, 70th minute. You know what I mean? Get a little run around, lads. Have a little kick about on the pitch. Brother, the league's gone. And the people that are below us are no way in hell are they catching us. Nottingham Forest is not catching us. Man City, although they're doing all this madness, which we will speak about now, they're not catching us, bro. Because they're still, do you know what I mean? But yeah, no.
Bro, we dropped points. We dropped points in the last 2 game weeks, and we still extended our lead from 4 to 5 points, or 4 to 6 points. Sorry, so that tells you all you need to know.
Ash Ketchum saying no, I would be more scared if they didn't talk this much because then I would know they actually believe in a comeback. Now it looks like they're just barking. Yeah,
fair.
To be honest, for me, it looks like they're doing PR so they can hype up the fans. That's how it looks like to me. They want an atmosphere, so now they're doing let's hype up the fans. So when we get to when we go to the Bernabeu,
most importantly, hyping the players as well, not just the fans.
Yeah, of course.
Big up Tebas, the La Liga president. They were asked, "Oh, we want to play on Saturday so we can have one more day rest." He said,
"No."
Shove it up. He said, "Shove it. You're playing on Sunday and you'll play on Wednesday and you get knocked. I don't give a shit. Hold that. Florentino Perez thought he could. Bully someone else in Spain. He's like, "Oh, Tebas, we want to play Saturday. Shut the hell up. You will play Sunday and you will play Wednesday."
Hit him one of these ones.
No, I don't do that, bro. I don't do that. Yeah. I don't do that. Habibi, I don't. I'm a bit sincere.
Here we go. This guy wants to start acting all civilized when he was calling.
I'll pick it up. Billah, wallahi al-azim. I actually don't curse that much, and I don't shoot the middle finger.
I just remember when this guy.
I know it's a bit silly, but I just don't.
At the beginning of the stream, but then now he wants to act all modest. I don't do.
Wait. When did I curse at the beginning of the stream? When did I curse?
You did a madness, bro. You said a mazzaline, bro. Let's not.
No, I said molester. It's not like cursing. That's not cursing. What do you mean? And that was a joke.
Do you know that word gets? Do you know that word gets freaking? That word is like a buzzword. It gets picked up.
No. I was saying, put all molesters in prison. That's what I was saying. Put them all in prison. That's what I was saying. I was not saying. But yeah, I know. I generally don't curse that much. I'm not lying.
Listen, look at this Souls guy, bro. Anyway,
let's talk about.
Listen, let's just quickly talk about the. Let me just quickly summarize the weekend. Liverpool come back at home to beat West Ham. I mean, who didn't? Where are these guys gone, bro? Why are you turning off the camera and then he turns off the camera exactly the same time as you? You turn back on the camera, he turns the camera on the same time.
I had a reason. I don't know what Souls.
What's going on? Why is Souls on mute, brother? He's never on mute, but then
I'm here.
He must start mute, yeah.
Yalla, Saad, we only have a few minutes. Let's go.
Listen, let me summarize it. Liverpool won. Oh, what a surprise! They won another game.
Congratulations!
They won the league anyway, bro. They won the league anyway. Yeah. Spurs.
We have to
lost.
give them a guard of honor, guys.
I couldn't give a
crazy.
flying fuck. Bro. I really couldn't care. That's just petty shit.
Wait, it's gonna be in our stadium.
No, their
it's
stadium.
their stadium.
But we
Oh.
still have to give them a guard of honor, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just happy that the fact that we don't have to do that in front of our fans. Do you know what I mean? At our
Yeah.
stadium.
Yeah,
They can't-
true. That would have been horrendous.
That'd have been mad disrespectful. We had to do that to fucking that piece of shit motherfucker. And,
Props to a manager who came the first season and win it.
what's his name? Van Pagan.
Van Persie. No, Van Persie deserved it, to be honest.
Anyway, I don't give a shit. Anyway, listen, Spurs lost. I tried to tell Sammy and Souls, these guys are bums.
Wow,
They don't
man,
listen to
Spurs
me and
are
Ash.
honestly,
You know,
I
look,
don't know
yeah,
why do you
20
guys
like
20
act
plus
like-
years? I never see Spurs this low, bro.
They act like me and Ash are just agendas. We're telling you for facts. Like, don't give them.
No, they
wins.
shocked me. You know, they really, really shocked
Bro,
me.
I
Never
only
seen it.
predicted them to win against Southampton because I
Man
knew
City.
Southampton are crap. That's it. Every other game, I'll never predict them to win unless it's Ipswich.
Man City is a bit mad. They got some.
Man City, I didn't predict them. No, I didn't predict them to beat Man City.
Chokehold. Do you know what I mean? Quick one. Shh, do you know what I mean? But listen,
No.
speaking of Arsenal drew, Chelsea. Oh my god, bro, absolutely awful against how much? I think it was like 34 shots, and half of them were off target. Half of them were
Before you end the stream, guys, who do you think will get the Champions League spots?
Well, we need to speak about Man
that's-
City.
City
We need
and
to speak
City
about
and
Man
Newcastle.
We need to speak about Man City quickly. There's three.
But
teams
there's
that-
5 spots, right? No.
Yeah, there's
but
5
I mean,
spots. So I'd say
yeah,
City, Newcastle, and
and Forest.
Forest, probably. Yeah, I think
No,
Forest will
those-
sneak it in.
those-
Correct. 3, and then Arsenal and Liverpool, obviously.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just think Chelsea that draw at Ipswich did it for them. Man.
You don't give.
I'm
Aston
gonna
Villa
say
chance.
if Chelsea. Nah, I don't think Aston
Nah,
Villa will
nah,
make it,
nah,
especially
nah.
especially like with Champions League and stuff. Even though they'll
But-
probably get knocked out this week. But
Defensively, they're
if
so
Chelsea-
poor.
if Chelsea finish 6th or below, I think they should sack their manager. Because see, that's not progression from what they did last season either.
What?
Why the hell did they sack Pochettino then?
Okay.
Yeah. This is the thing. Do you okay?
Souls, you can leave. Let him go, fellas.
No, but does everybody need to go, or are you guys?
I need to
okay?
go in like a few minutes. I need to go in a few minutes.
Okay, halas. Yalla, Souls. You were actually tied with Sammy, in the thing. So big up to you. But listen, love.
No, sorry, because it's gonna burn my heart. Sammy actually won because I voted to myself.
Guys, Souls.
Wait,
Guys.
but did Sammy vote for himself as well?
Actually, I did.
There you go.
Oh,
It's
you
level.
did. The thing is, I actually wanted Sammy to win. I wanted Sammy to win as well.
Look, I'm being
I'm
honest.
gonna vote
like,
for
I'm
someone.
like-
Let me go. I'm gonna vote for Saad, bro. I'm gonna vote for
Both
Saad.
for Sad. Big up
Don't
Sad.
give me a pity vote. Don't give me a pity vote. Bro.
Big up to you, Souls, for your honesty, man.
What
He's
is this,
God.
man?
Big up. Allah Souls is honest. Yeah.
Don't gi- don't-
Why not?
don't
Let him
give-
vote for himself, bro.
Why are you giving me a pity vote? Bro? What is this? Man?
Habibi, you're my brother. That's why. But anyways, continue.
But anyways, yeah. Listen, I said this yesterday. For me, obviously, what we were discussing was obviously Mo's saying it's it's a manager issue, da di da di da. Which I agree that there is an issue with the manager, yeah. But I think we have to start questioning these players, yeah. We have to start questioning these players because there's no way you can go into a game against Ipswich and you can have that many chances and not put the ball in the back of the net. Yeah,
At
we can
home.
talk about exactly. We can talk about tactics, we can talk about this, we can talk about that. But when we're looking at what is on the football pitch right now, yeah, and we're looking at players that are in that attack that are not able to score goals, it is severely concerning. It's
No,
concerning.
I agree. I agree with Mo. It's a manager issue. Because
Why
he
is
shouldn't
it?
get a,
No, but
be-
do you
because-
solely?
I'll tell you why.
Solely a
No,
manager.
I'll tell you why. Because you rate the players higher than Ipswich players, right?
Yes.
So on paper, they should win this game, right?
Yes.
Okay. So why did they lose that game, in your opinion? I mean,
Because
if the manager saw like the
players did not
flaws,
perform.
Okay, that's fine. If he saw the flaws from a certain player is not performing well, the formation didn't suit that game in particular, so he needs to change something. That's the cool game management, right? So that's on the coach. There's
But
a
why?
clear instruction from the coach.
Hold on. So this is my problem, and we didn't get to speak too much about it yesterday because Hamza was on bullshit, of course, as per usual. But here's my problem with it, though, yeah, because I understand you guys are saying the players are good enough and this is good enough. It's a manager issue, yeah. But my problem is, why should the manager change something if his players are creating enough chances to win the game? If his players are creating enough chances,
that's fine. That's
if his
that's
players
fine
are
from
creating
the
enough
offensive
chances,
side. There's offensive side. There's defensive.
no, but
side.
defensive side, they created enough chances there to score 5-6 goals and knock them out of the park. Ipswich got past maybe once or twice. Yeah, they created 3 big chances, I think. Based on the stats, I think I looked at the stats yesterday. They created 3 big chances. Apart from that, bro, they didn't create much else. You know what I mean? They might have had a few other like chances from outside the box or something like that, or you know, just a few half chances. But Chelsea had chances, big chances, bro. So that's the problem for me. I think it's a player issue right now, especially.
So how do they concede?
Yeah, I don't think it's a player issue. I disagree. I agree. I think it's with Sami. I think it's a manager issue, to be honest, because in my opinion, these players are a lot better than where they are right now for the position. The way they were, way better, and the way they were in the top, they were second or third by November, December. Like yes, I understand they might have been overachieving, or maybe because City were regressing, but I don't think it should have been this kind of a downfall. I understand if they went from second to fourth, which is where I think they should have been by now. They should have been between third and fourth. And probably even third, not even fourth, because a lot of the players have been there last season. I think they have quite a talented team. They talk about Cole Palmer like he's one of the best players in the world. Caicedo, one of the best DMs in the world. And I think Caicedo is a fantastic DM. They have such crazy squad depth that they were raving about at the start of the season. Fair enough, like Sancho, Madueke, Neto, and all these guys. Like, they have good players. Enzo, they have good players that should be, in my opinion, getting them top 4 easy. Like, they should have been sleeping on top 4 right now because they're already too safe. That's how Arsenal is quite too safe. The reality is, people look at this team. Last season, they lost just one of their last 15 games in the Premier League, winning every single one of the last 5 games. The one lost, by the way, was the 5-0 against Arsenal. Just adding it there for any Chelsea
also,
fans to remember.
Just to add on Ash's point,
that team, I'll just end with this, Sami. That team hasn't regressed. That team hasn't gotten worse. If anything, I can argue that team has gotten better, right? Because they had a new manager who apparently is supposed to be better. They had Sancho, apparently. Cole Palmer has another season under his belt. And yet they ended up failing, in my opinion. So if they don't end up getting Champions League football this season, at best they would have stagnated, which for me is not good enough for a team like Chelsea that spent over 1.7 billion in the last 5 years. And before people say, but they've spent a lot on kids, look at their average spend per player. Look at all the transfers they've made in the last 5 years, and the average per player, it's around like 11 million, which is like 2 million higher than Arsenal, 1 million higher than City. So they haven't spent cheap. They've spent big, and they've spent big on some players. So for me, if they doesn't make it, it's 100% on the manager. It's not on the players.
Yeah, props to you, Ash, and I agree with everything you said there. But also, if you see Saad, for example, Kivior when he came to the squad, Tierney when he came in, and these guys don't play a lot for Arsenal, but they played like they've been playing all season because they're well drilled by the manager. They're following his instruction. They are delivering as expectation, not to the level to say wow, but at least to the level to defend well. And Kivior explained that magnificently. I mean, in Real Madrid game. I mean, we all suspected that we were going to get smashed by Madrid because of Kivior. We don't have Gabriel, but the opposite happened, and that's why Arteta defensively, I give him props to that. Tactically, he's very good when it comes to defense.
And this is the thing, you guys cannot have your cake and eat it. Chelsea fans cannot come and say, oh, Colwell is close to Saliba, Fofana, incredible, blah, blah, blah. Or we got Tosin, or we got this and we got that. And then suddenly you're like, oh, they're all crap. They're all crap. Yeah, they're all crap. You're saying they're all crap now, but at the start of the season, you were not saying they were all crap. So you cannot just suddenly switch your stance now. What happened to you having the best midfield depth in the league? with Lavia and Caicedo and Dewsbury Hall and Enzo and Palmer. What happened to that? Joao Felix. What happened to that incredible midfield depth? Where did it suddenly disappear and die off? You cannot keep saying this BS at the start of the season where we have the best squad depth and we have this and we have this. I never thought you had.
Who was the midfield? Was it Enzo, Caicedo, Palmer?
Yeah, Enzo, Caicedo, and Palmer. Yeah, which is a very good midfield. It's a very good midfield. So what are you arguing? Like, people are making it seem like this team is
here,
crap.
Caicedo will be left alone there, man. Defensively.
Yeah, I agree, but it's still a good enough midfield to stop Ipswich. It's Ipswich they're defending against.
That's the problem.
Doesn't matter. You're outnumbered.
Ipswich. For me, this is why I think it's the players. First of all, Ipswich, in the grand scheme of things, is not a team that you need to be coached to play. You don't need to be coached to beat Ipswich. Ipswich is a small team. Ipswich is a team that you should be beating every single day of the week. Yeah, you can't lose to them. You can't draw to them. Yeah, I say that about my own club because we're also in that boat. Any of the top 6 clubs, you should not be losing with the amount of money you have, the amount of money that's pumped into your squads. You should not be losing to these teams or drawing, whatever. Yeah,
but that's not the reality.
The problem. Yes, I understand it's not the reality. I understand it happens sometimes, but when it happens consistently, yeah, then that's a problem. Now, here's the thing for me in regards to Chelsea. I understand what you guys have said about the manager, yeah, but the only thing for me that I have to say is this was done under two managers where they've created chances and can't finish their chances. They can't finish their dinner. This is under 2 different managers. So when do we start saying, okay, this might not be a manager issue. This might actually be a player issue. These players don't have the right confidence. These players can't keep the consistency going. Yes, Palmer last season was going crazy and finishing everything under the sun. But this season, Palmer's still got decent stats, but not to the level where he was at. So this is the problem that we have to ask ourselves. Or this is the question we have to ask ourselves. What happens to these players? Why do these players not have the consistency? Sorry?
What happened to Palmer, in your opinion?
I think everything's. I think it's balancing out. I think him as a player is balancing out right now. I think that season was a one season.
Well, it was a fluke.
It was a fluke season, but I think it's balancing out, and this is around about the numbers that you'll see him achieve. Do you know what I mean? You don't just get players like that. This is why I rate Saka so highly, and I always keep it consistent. This is why I rate Saka so highly, because Saka continuously gets those numbers and betters them every single year. Every single year, he improves on his numbers and gets higher numbers and consistently is able to provide GNA at a very consistent level and a very high level. Yeah. Now, for me, I understand, that Palmer was this and Palmer was that. I don't even want to get into the whole Palmer-Saka conversation. What I want to go back to is the manager.
Yeah, that argument is dead now. Don't ever bring Palmer and Saka in the same convo.
I understand that the manager, I understand that the manager has done certain things wrong. I understand that he's partially to blame for this, but I think majority of it falls onto the players, just because these players have shown consistently under 2 managers that they have a drop off. These players will drop.
No, but that's not true though, because last season towards the second half they were on the upward trajectory.
So what did they do at the start of the season? They had this season, this performance that they're having right now in the second half of this season. They had that at the start of the season.
But sad, that's when a lot of no, because that's when a lot of these players were new. Caicedo was brand new to the team. Palmer was brand new to the team. Enzo was only 6 months into the team. It's not the same. That they started crap, I agree, and they were 12th in the mid-season, but they ended really well. They even reached the League Cup final and lost to Liverpool. They reached the FA Cup semi-final and they should have made it to the final.
Okay.
And towards the end of the season, they went from 12 to 6th. They were improving.
So Ash, what's to say that this start of this season isn't just a continuation of last season? But then now it's dried up.
I agree. No, I agree. That's the point. They continued from last season. They continued from last season, and then the manager's style and the manager's footprints started showing up on the players a lot more, which is why the regression happened. There's no reason why a team like Chelsea should be regressing the way they are. You're talking about the players. Oh, Ipswich, I expect the players to beat Ipswich. It doesn't work that way in the Premier League. You could lose to any team in the Premier League if you're not being coached well. Even a team like Man City with their players can lose at home to Ipswich if Pep Guardiola drops the ball and doesn't manage the team well and goes through a period of just bad management where he's not deploying players correctly. That's what's happening with them. Whatever the style is, maybe
they need to get the
maybe Maresca. Exactly. Maybe Maresca needs to change his style. Maybe he needs to put Palmer back on the right. Whatever the hell he needs to do. The point is, he's not doing it well because you cannot sit here and convince me that those players are not good enough. They're not good enough to win a league title. I agree. They're far away from that. But they're 100% good enough to get top 4 this season. I'm not saying they're good to get top 4 every season. But this season, where City have dropped off, where Villa have not been the same as last season, where Newcastle started off really bad, where Spurs are nowhere to be seen, where United are nowhere to be seen, this Chelsea team should easily be getting top 4. And in my opinion, their manager has absolutely ruined it for them with his style of play, with his substitutions, with whatever the hell he's doing. He's not getting them over the line. When a team is consistently playing bad over a bunch of games, especially in different departments, that is on the manager. That's not on the players. You can say it's the players if, let's say, the attack is playing bad or if the midfield is playing bad consistently. Then you can say, okay, players are not good enough. But when the entire team is playing like crap and your best player, your talisman, has also dipped in performance and you're not able to lift them up to get them to perform through 6-7 games in a row, that is 100% on the manager. I'm sorry. It's his job to get them over the line. That's the same consistency we hold Arteta to. We see if our attack has been bad for 6, 7, 8 games and our defense is not showing up and our midfield is playing like crap for 6, 7, 8 games, you cannot look at our players. You have to look at the manager. Okay, so he has to improve.
You know what? That's a fair argument. That's a fair argument. Quickly speak about Manchester City because I know you want.
And that's why Ash is the number 1 when it comes to panelists. No, I'm just kidding.
No. The reason I could. So this guy is the most fraudulent piece of work ever.
Wallah,
because I could rebuttal what he said, but for the.
I'm not egoistic. Wallah, guys, please don't think I'm a very humble person in real life. Wallah.
You sound like Hussam, bro. Anyway,
no, Hussam is not humble in real life or on panels, bro. Hussam is the least humble, bro.
The fact that Hussam has, brother, if anybody has to say they're humble, guys, they're not humble. But anyway,
that's also true, by the way.
Listen, speak about Manchester City because I know you were saying you wanted to speak about them. So let us know, man. Let us know.
Yeah. Look, I also need to go, but I'll just speak on them quickly.
Crazy.
What was crazy? Yeah. That result was mad, to be honest. I never thought that. I think I predicted them to win. I just can't remember. What did I predict them to win at 2-1, maybe? Yeah, I think 2-1. But yeah, look, man, this is the Man City that is supposed to be performing throughout the season like this. I know they conceded 2 goals, but their defense is just not at the game right now. Like they've obviously had some players out and stuff. Omar Marmoush, KDB having some amazing performance. I was watching this show of Mo today where he was saying, oh yeah, Arsenal should get KDB to play for Arsenal, in the 10. I'm like, bruh, please stop, Mo. I hope he brings it up tomorrow in our show so I could school him there. Because the reality is he's a 33-year-old man. That's it. It's done for him. But good to see that he's at least ending his career well with City. For me, he's the greatest midfielder to ever play in the Premier League, bar none. I think he's number 1 for me. So it's good to see that he's ending his career slightly strong if he keeps getting like some GA here and there. And look, they have to get top 4. They have to get top 4, top 5 basically, because that gives them Champions League. There's no excuse for them to miss it. I think they have the fixtures to get there. They finished majority of their top 6 games home and away. So I think maybe they play Spurs left, or have they finished all 6 of them?
Let me see.
I think they probably finished.
Double check.
Yeah, I think they finished all because they played us twice. They played Liverpool twice, United twice, Chelsea twice. So they have played.
No, they've not got any big 6 teams. They've got Nottingham Forest away. Oh, that's in the FA Cup.
That's the FA Cup. Doesn't matter. Yeah, so logically they should be getting the top 5.
The only difficult games I'd say out of that, actually. But they've got
Everton I saw it. They should be winning
they've
it.
Got
they
Everton away.
Games.
They've got Aston Villa at home, which they should win. They've got Wolves at home, which they should win. They've got Southampton away,
Fulham.
which they should win. But then they've got Fulham away and they've got Bournemouth at home. you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Those could be
they should honestly be winning
honest-
majority of those games, and if they win those games and get top 5 and win the FA Cup, which they're favorites for, and then they go to the Club World Cup, that'll give them a lot more confidence, a
think
bigger
that's-
boost.
Given what's happened to them, I think that's a very successful season for Manchester City.
Especially if they're planning to reinvest in the summer. So yeah, big up to them, big up to KDB. It's obviously time for him.
I want to
don't
ask Ash this
stay in the
question.
Premier League.
So if they win the FA Cup and we don't win anything UCL or anything, and we
They're
reach
most
to the final,
successful.
who's the most successful season, Ash? Manchester
I
City
think-
or Arsenal?
I think given
Tell
the context and expectations, if we
Okay.
finish, if you're talking about if we reach Champions League final, right, and lose to Barca.
Regardless, final, semi-final, whatever you want.
No, it differs because semi-final 100% them. There's no question. But if we reach a final,
okay.
then I would probably say,
Man City.
given the context of the season, I'd probably say it's us. Like I don't think because Man
It's
City as well.
us.
When I
Did you say
I would
Arsenal?
probably put us. Yeah, I'd probably put us. If they win the FA Cup, right?
Mad. Yeah.
If they win the FA Cup and finish fifth,
Yes.
I
He
would say
doesn't.
Arsenal.
He doesn't. Bro, listen. I don't know
wow.
what Ash is
I don't
saying.
rate. I rate the FA Cup for like add it to your trophy cabinet. I don't rate it for which team
my
had a better
God.
season, unless it's super close. But
You know that
okay,
the FA
you're
Cup was
saying-
rated better than the Champions League about 17
yeah,
years
back
ago,
then. But
right?
we're not living in the we're not living 100 years ago. We're living in 2025. The reality is, Sami, I don't think if the gap between us was close, I'd say yeah, fair enough. But you're saying okay, FA Cup they won a trophy, we didn't. Fair enough. But we finished second in the league, they finished fifth. We reached the Champions League final and slapped up the team that knocked them out 6-3. They went out to those same guys in the round of 16. So those things kind of balance things for me. But yeah. You know what? We shouldn't talk about who's had a better season. No, let's let the season finish because all this conversation might change.
I was interested to
All
hear
this
that.
conversation might change. If Arsenal lose to PSG in the semi-finals, inshallah, if we make it past Madrid, everything I've said obviously is irrelevant then.
Okay.
And we shouldn't lose to PSG. Hopefully, inshallah, we shouldn't.
Wow, Ash, you just stunned me there.
Saad, yalla, ya akhi. Habibi, Sami and I are on
Alright.
good terms. End the stream, yalla.
Sorry, I'm just.
Yalla, guys, thank you so much for watching the Saad's Football Corner. Big
Guys,
up to
can I-
AMD
guys, can
for
I-
double super.
Bro, I'm just typing in the title.
Yeah,
Relax.
Habibi.
Pray
Wallahi,
for
I'm
Madrid.
delighted.
It's real. Pray for
He's acting-
Madrid.
He's acting like he's gonna do a madness.
Yeah, honestly,
Anyway.
if you're Madrid fans, you better pray
Listen.
because honestly, the roles are reversed now. You better pray for your team. You better pray for your team. Imagine
Listen,
if we go there and slap them 3-0 again. Imagine.
I
Wallahi.
don't want me to-
Wallahi.
Sad, I have to
If-
take that back. I am sorry that I, dunked on you when you put pray for Madrid at that time. Even though
Wallahi,
you were
if we
trolling.
if we I'm telling you guys this before we wrap up, I'll tell you guys this. If we slap up Madrid again in the second leg,
Come on, man.
Uqsam billah, no
man.
Madrid fan will hear the end of it.
man.
I have a Madrid cousin.
Come
I have a
on.
Madrid cousin.
Look at that, man. Look at that,
Habibi.
bro. Look at that. Look at that, man. Look at that, man. The truth, bro. The truth.
I'll tell you guys this. I have a Madrid cousin, yeah, who keeps
Mm.
talking so much shit about Arsenal and because he's a Madrid fan. I didn't WhatsApp him after the first leg. He's in Morocco. Big up, brother. I didn't WhatsApp him after the first leg because
Big
I'm
up,
waiting for
big
the
up
second.
Nasser. Big up Nasser. Wallah, I'm waiting for him as well, bro.
Yeah.
He's gonna get
For me, I'm waiting for the second leg. Wallahi, once the second leg is done, if we slap them up in the second leg as well, if we lose and go and still qualify, I'll be humble. I'll say, hey, hard luck, we did it, blah blah blah. But if we slap them up second leg, yeah, I will never let him live it down. He will never forget this. The 6-0. Imagine we do another 3-0 and it's 6-0 on aggregate. All those guys who spoke shit about, I will say that's our Champions League. Oh, wait, did you win a Champions League? Yes, we won a Champions League. 6-0 against Madrid. That's a Champions League. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Oh, wait, how many Champions Leagues you got? How many 6-0s against Madrid you have? Bruh. Ya Allah, let it happen.
Hey, listen. Big up to everybody who has tuned in. Big up to everybody who has watched. Big up to everybody who has been with us. Ash did end up winning the poll, unfortunately. So big up to him.
Big up,
But,
guys.
guys-
I appreciate it. Love all of you.
No, big up to you guys. And big up to Abud, of course, for the super chats, the first one, and then the second one, and then the bomber to end it off.
Wow.
Absolute legend. Guys,
Big up
can
to
we
you.
just again, guys, can we just get W's real quick in the chat? Just
I'll give
W's
him
for
the
Abud
W,
because
AMD.
because bro, like he just done a madness. I'm gonna give him W's as well because it was actually crazy. Guys, listen, we're gonna end the stream, but I'm gonna be on Tunnel TV with Kunle and them, man. So make sure to go over and join us over there. I'm gonna send you guys over there now with the redirect. So go over there, smash the like button, comment who's your favorite Arsenal player. Just comment your favorite Arsenal player in the comments, and I'll see you guys on that channel. See you guys.